There haven't been too many big updates on the Jussie Smollett case. One of the things we've heard recently is that the clothesline, okay, hold on. The rope around his neck was a clothesline. I think I got to start there, right? So there's a woman who was a neighbor of him who claimed she saw a man lurking around the house who had some kind of clothesline in his jacket. The police interviewed her, and it turns out her description of this person was nowhere near what Jussie Smollett described. The latest update is that the Chicago police, I'm going to read through these two stories because I want to go through, Jussie Smollett. Today they published a story about his statements, but we're also now hearing Chicago police superintendent said that Smollett will be held accountable if he made a false report. Believe it or not, fake hate crimes are real. There's actually a website called Fake Hate Crimes. It's got 347 posts. If we get to it, we'll get to it. I tried to keep these videos too long, but let's start here with his recent statements. The Daily Mail runs the story. I'm not going to quote this. Jussie Smollett called himself the gay Tupac. He speaks out, revealing that he fought back. He fought the F back against his racist and homophobic attackers as the Empire star gets back to work in Chicago. Video has emerged from Jussie Smollett's performance in Los Angeles over the weekend, including the moment he spoke out for the first time about the recent hate crime that occurred just a few blocks away from a Chicago apartment. I was bruised, but my ribs were not cracked. They were not broken. I went to the doctor immediately. My friend, Fred Jackson, drove me, but I was not hospitalized, Smollett says in the video. Both my doctors in Chicago and Los Angeles cleared me to perform, but they said to take care, obviously, and above all, I fought the F back. Smollett then paused to say that he was the gay Tupac. Now, there's a few things that need to be said. Smollett has claimed the media is taking him out of context and reporting fake things, or maybe misrepresenting things. I believe him. I really do. I do not trust the media, and a lot of what we're learning is coming from TMZ. So I'm going to stop right there and say I'm pretty sure a lot of what we've heard is probably fake. However, he made the claims. The root of the claims are real. The police have talked about it. Going just off of the police, this guy said it happened. Now, here's the thing. For those that haven't watched the other videos I've done about this, a lot of people have forgotten the story. I'm not. I'm waiting, okay? Apparently, the police have looked through hundreds of hours of footage, and all they've seen so far is he's walking away from two guys, two potential witnesses. He then walks off frame, and then about a minute later walks back into frame with the clothesline around his neck. So the assumption is that in that time frame where he walks off of frame from the camera is when something happened. Just very unfortunate for Smollett that the attack took place off camera. Now, I will say a lot of people are going to go, he walked, out of view of cameras to throw the thing on his neck and claim he got attacked. At the same time, if he was going to get attacked, I'm pretty sure the people attacking him would want to avoid cameras too. So it's still not really definitive proof of anything, except there's a lot of weird things about his story. We've talked about it. He kept the clothesline around his neck for 45 minutes. He didn't go to the hospital right away. He went to his friend's house. According to a local crime blog, he didn't want to call the police. His friends called the police. Then his friend claimed he was on the phone with him at the time. Now, here's the big thing. If he walked back into frame about a minute later, he should be on the phone because his manager said he was on the phone with him when it happened, right? Potentially. But let's read on to talk. We'll look at what he says. The 36-year-old actor is now back at work at Empire. Yeah, we get it. The show has been working around the absence of another star. Don't care. The incident report from the attack was released on Tuesday and raises some questions about comments made by the police early in the investigation. In the wake of the attack, the Chicago Police Department opened Smollett up to criticism by electing to publicly announce less than 12 hours into the investigation that detectives had reviewed hundreds of hours of security footage and not found any evidence of an attack. Interesting. The report, however, shows that only 4 cameras were initially identified as being near the area where the attack took place. One of those cameras was located in a parking garage and the other attached to a building across the street, which is 5 lanes wide. Those were also both north of the route that Smollett took home from the subway. They also have footage of him sitting in subway and just eating food. The same goes for the 2 other cameras, which are used for traffic purposes and were not particularly close to where Smollett was attacked by the men. It was then made public that after an expanded search, that detective still could not find footage. Yet in the end, the image of 2 persons of interest came from a camera located less than a block from the scene. That was in fact closer than the other 4 cameras noted in the report. It was also on the route that Smollett took to return to his apartment. So apparently the attack happened, for those that aren't familiar, Chicago has 2 levels, at least a decent area of downtown. Actually, I think it has 3, some areas have 3 levels. Basically, they lifted the city up. They built the roads up higher. So there are some areas where you can see in this photo, you can actually go, like, up on top of here, it's not a bridge, it's the street. And underneath, it's like Lower Street. We actually have a street called Lower Wacker, right? And that's what it is, it's Wacker Drive and Lower Wacker. So we can see here, this is the route he took. Smollett left Subway sandwich shop at 2 a.m. He then walked down here where the attack apparently happened right over here. He says he was bruised. Now, these two guys, to my understanding, are not suspects. It's been reported by a lot of people they're suspects. They're not. I believe they're potential witnesses. I could be wrong, but that's my general understanding. Let's move on. Smollett has never wavered from his timeline and prior to the attack had been documenting his much delayed flight back to Chicago from New York. He posted on Instagram as soon as he landed just after midnight, but it's unclear if he had his luggage with him when he was attacked or had returned to his apartment first before going to get a sandwich at a nearby Subway. Smollett was then just across the street from his residence when the attack occurred and appeared to be heading back into a back entrance of the building that was closer due to the weather. The attack happened in a below-ground street that runs by the building where Smollett lives, and video did show him entering with a noose shortly after 2 a.m. on Tuesday. It's a clothesline. All right, it's a clothesline. We'll just do the final point because I want to get to the part about the superintendent. So they say Liam Neeson's making the press rounds. We'll move on. Rahm Emanuel has done little to help the situation, choosing to comment by stating that Smollett's alleged statement of what happened is horrific. Police, meanwhile, have confirmed that Smollett is seen walking across the street from the men in the video, disappears for a minute, and reappears with a noose around his neck. Clothesline. Okay, just make that clear. My understanding it was a clothesline. But now we have another update. This is from the Daily Wire. Chicago Police Superintendent Empire star Jussie Smollett will be held accountable if he made a false crime report. And here it comes. We've gone from the, okay, he's a victim, let's research, but now the police are actually saying, you know what? Chicago Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson reportedly told local media Tuesday that the Chicago Police Department will pursue a case against Empire actor Jussie Smollett if it turns out Smollett filed a false police report alleging a late-night attack. Smollett was allegedly attacked, right? We get all that stuff. Now, yeah, there's a bunch of other inconsistencies, like they yelled MAGA country. This wasn't initially reported, and then it was reported after the fact, so... A subsequent investigation by Chicago police revealed that indeed Smollett did walk several blocks to and from a Subway sandwich shop that evening, but that Smollett was on camera for all but 60 seconds of a trip, during which Smollett reports the attack took place. It's really unfortunate for everybody. Smollett included. I mean, the attack happened. It's really unfortunate he walked out a view of that camera. Although two individuals were pictured on security cameras near where Smollett says he was attacked, sources close to the CPD told local media those two individuals appear to be homeless and were in the vicinity between 15 and 30 minutes before he arrived back at his apartment. So that's what I was saying. It looks like these guys are potentially witnesses, not suspects. Just north of the Chicago River, Chicago police also reportedly dismissed a neighbor's claim that a redneck-looking man was loitering behind Smollett's apartment, according to Chicago Crime Watch blog CWB Chicago. If you trust the Crime Watch blog. Oh, yeah, that's what it means. The Sun-Times reported last week that Smollett was reticent to file a police report, but that another individual present in Smollett's apartment encouraged him to call the police and to seek medical attention. Smollett also refused to provide police with his phone, despite telling law enforcement that he had been on a call with his manager at the time of the attack. Now, here's the other thing. It's not just his phone. It was reported by Yashar Ali that he wouldn't turn over phone records. Now, I don't know exactly what records they're asking for, but I can imagine it's not too difficult to just screenshot that you can prove you were on the phone. And apparently he didn't want to. So I don't know. I mean, if they asked for his phone, I'd be like, no way, dude, I need my phone. You know, like I got all my stuff's on here. Like, not going to happen. You know, access to my accounts and all that. I'm not giving anybody that phone. So that I can understand. Phone records, I can't though. Phone records, it's simple. It's like, cool. I'll just email it to you, right? So why he wouldn't do that is, you know, I don't know. The developments have led some to question Smollett's version of the attack, even though the Empire Star insists that his original version of events is the correct one, according to the Associated Press. Yeah, well, some guy, one of the co-creator of Empire, I think it was the co-creator, deleted his Instagram post where he was saying nice things about Jussie. Fox 32 reporter Rafer Weigel reported Tuesday that he spoke to Police Superintendent Johnson and that Johnson told him Smollett is still being treated as a victim in this case, but the police are pursuing all angles. He tweeted, Eddie Johnson says Smollett is still being treated as a victim in the case, but if the investigation does reveal he made a false report, he will be held accountable. Sources close to the Chicago Police Department also tell the Daily Wire that police have filed a series of subpoenas in order to compel the production of Smollett's phone records from the night of the attack, a report apparently confirmed by CW Chicago. Whoa, that's huge. That is huge. That shows us that, look, they want phone records. Smollett is not cooperating with police. They've filed subpoenas against him. This is going somewhere. If they prove he wasn't on the phone, the records don't show it, then they provided a false police report. I mean, well, actually, no, I don't. If they told the police that maybe obstruction, I don't know what they're going to, but this is more evidence to the fact that why wouldn't you turn over your phone records? I mean, that's weird. Unless, you know, maybe he's cheating on somebody, he's got a significant other, I don't know. Maybe he was calling someone he wasn't supposed to. Maybe he was doing something he wasn't supposed to be doing. The last thing I want to do is drag a victim of a violent crime, for sure. But I'm just going to entertain the thought. Maybe he was meeting some shady actors. Maybe he got attacked by people who he knew. Maybe there's reasons he doesn't want people to know who he was talking to, plain and simple. Maybe he was just trying to get a little bit of that green. You know what I mean? Like, he's in Chicago. It's not entirely legal. You just want to, you know, get some for you and your buddy. Have a nice joint. Roll a blunt. Maybe they didn't. You know, they got into it. Who knows? Who knows? I don't want to play that game. I'm just saying, you know, there's a lot of reasons why someone wouldn't turn over their records, and it could be because maybe this was taken out of context. Maybe it was an excuse for something that really happened. So, Fox News reporter Matt Finn also says CPD is getting its ducks in a row for possible interrogations regarding the attack, but Finn did not provide details as to who or what might be interrogated. What does that mean? CPD, no video. This is from a couple days ago. No video yet of the redneck with a rope. Subway in hand. PD holding that detail to see if people coming forward to match with match with what they have on the camera, and getting their ducks in a row for possible interrogation. So here's what I'm gonna do. I don't want to go on too long. You know, I do have this, it's fakehatecrimes.org. I didn't get to it, but I don't like to make these videos too long. But stick around. I'm going to have more videos coming up. I'm tracking the story. I'm not letting go, okay? I want to know what happened. And if this dude was a victim, then we need to find who did this, plain and simple. And if he made it up, he needs to be held accountable, plain and simple. But first and foremost, let's just leave it right where it is. If anybody committed this attack against this man, I hope we find him. I seriously do. And that's the first priority. So until then, I'm going to be tracking the story, and I'll have updates when they come. But stick around. I got more videos coming up. 1 p.m. on the main channel at 4 p.m. and then 6:15 and 6:30. I will see you then on this channel and the main. And yes, whatever. I'll see you next time. Ugh.